All right, so some of you were asking about my current setup, what I use daily. So I throughout the years I did end up buying a lot of stuff that I didn't really use, but what you can see over here is pretty much what I use every single day, except probably for the cold brew tower, which right now is just sitting there until I find a better place for it. Makes amazing cold brew, but it's a pain to clean and gets lots of dust on top. So forget about that for a minute. All right, so here I have the decent espresso machine. For those that are not aware, this is like a espresso machine that you can basically modify every possible setting of it, you know. So anything you want, you can do with this machine. You can program it however you want it. It's like pretty much a lab machine, you know. And probably you either love it or hate it. I am in the middle. I used to have a Lilith Bianca before this one, which will be in a way the opposite of what a decent is, even though it still has a lot of flow and pressure profiling. I really like this machine, but still have some quirks to get around. What I did on this one was that I got a Pesado portafilter. I really like this portafilter, and this one is the hybrid one, which I think it's an amazing invention. Well, I don't know if they invented or not, but basically you can you have a naked portafilter and you screw this in. Very simple when you have people around, you know. And you can even change the angle of the spouts. So in my case, it might look a bit wonky like that. I use this preparation tower, or I don't even know the stand, however it's called. But the way this is put makes it so that once placed, I don't know if you can see, it's just parallel to the tray, you know. So that's really nice that you can easily change the angle, you know. So daily driver, I use it a lot, and I actually may get another one just to have an extra one. It's really nice, fits pretty much any kind of basket, including the high extraction and taller baskets, with no issue. I've tried with a Pesado basket too, the Pesado high extraction one is here, and it works just fine. So yeah, I think this is a very nice add-on to any machine. This other thing here, it's something that I modified. It's actually a WDT tool from Pesado. This was another one, but as you can see, it's the same. You just take out the needles. So basically, this part would look like this. Turns out that when I got this WDT tool, it's just too heavy, you know. So it's not nice to use it as a manual tool. So I wasn't using it to be honest, you know. And then I thought that it looked quite nice there. So I had you know, like an adapter manufacturer, but I think you can buy a few of them, which has one thread on one side for the decent brew head, and another one with this thread, so you can put it here, you know, and it matches with my port filter handle and looks good, even though I really didn't find any actual use. So I don't know why Decent even added this. Maybe their machines move at first, but right now I think it's just something that doesn't really get much use of it, you know. This WDT tool, even though apparently it's the same, is actually very different because this is made out of wood. It's the same brand, Pesado too, but this is so much lighter. And in this sense, I think that in this case, a WDT tool it's better if it's lighter, so you can move it easier. This is something that I use along with you purchase the base separately. I think this is a very nice combo. The needles are very thin, so it goes nicely through the grounds, and I just think this is a nice tool to keep around. Even though, as you maybe saw, I have the Moonraker. This is another WDT tool. This is a spirographic one with different sizes of needles. The thickness of the needles vary, and they are magnetic, so you can pull them out. Let me check. You can pull them out and swap them. They come with some spare ones. And this is a very nice tool. However, to be fully honest, it's not really for, I wouldn't use it in a commercial setting. It's nice for a home lab because if you saw some reviews, the base, you have to be very, very gentle when you're putting it back, you know, because if not, you will tend to bend the needles. As you can see, some of my needles are already bent. I have to take them and bend them back by hand. And this happens mostly when you're putting it back into the cradle. You just have to be very careful with that. And another thing with this tool that I didn't like too much is the fact that when you are spinning it, supposedly you should go about like 4 or 5. This tends to you tend to get a bit tired doing this, you know. I found out that you can actually do this and it spins way easier. So I do that and gives up very nice and fluffy grounds. I wouldn't say it necessarily beats using a normal WDT, especially with how much more it costs, but I would say it's a nice tool. I have to try the Barista Hustle new tool and see how it compares. But for now, I'm enjoying it very much. This prep base, it's super heavy. I got it on Amazon. It's a very, very nice stainless steel base. Portafilter goes in there. You have to hold it because this one, as name implies, is quite heavy. So it would probably, well, it doesn't lay flat and would probably fall if I just leave it there. But I put my WDT there, as you saw, and spin it. And then I use the Normcore tamper. This is a calibrated tamper and a self-leveling tamper. It's not super high quality, but it's very, very nice. It has a very nice fit here. So I think it's all in all very well manufactured. The other one I really liked that I don't use anymore though is the Barista Hustle one. I enjoy it for years. Even though it's not a calibrated one or a self-leveling one, still feels amazing in the hand. I used to have before this the one that comes with a Lilith Bianca, which is another high quality one, but this just feels better. It's a bit lighter than the Lilith one, but it's just nicer. What else? Okay, so grinders. I have the Lagom 01 here, which is a flatboard grinder, 102 millimeter. This is a conical board grinder. Nowadays I use this mostly for brews. So I just set one for espresso and the other one for brew. But they are very, very nice grinders for their particular use. These screens are from S-Work Designs. They are super thin. I don't know how much, like how good they work at distributing water, but they are amazing at keeping your machine clean, you know, your brew head here and your shower clean, you know. I use them every single day because of that, you know. So what I see is that I don't have to flush so often anymore. So I have here just a little Tupperware that I used to put here and flush into it. And I would do this so I wouldn't get water splashing, because if I flush here, even though this drain is connected to an actual drain, you know, and I don't have to empty it, it still would splash a bit. By the way, for the Decent, this is a tray that you can, as you can see, you can put a scale here. This is 3D printed. This is also 3D printed and it's connected to a drain. It's just very nice to have the scale connected to the machine so you can do volumetric shots. And for cleaning, I just pull this back a bit and clean all around here when I get a lot of mess, which I use my WDT bottle. This one came with a key, but I'll show you another one that I got from Amazon, which works great. And I use a microfiber towel. This one came with a Lilith Bianca, but any towel would work just fine, you know. Knockbox. Someone asked about the knockbox. This is a knockbox drawer, and it works amazingly well. You just knock it here, falls in. You do have to pull out the screen, the mesh screen when it falls in there, but it's just very nice because you can keep several days of coffee in there. And I just take it afterwards, break it into crumbs, and throw it in the garden. I store my coffee in the fellow Atmos containers. They work really nicely to keep the grounds fresh. And also one thing I found is that you can just paste this, tape here and put whatever variety or roast date or variation it is, and it doesn't stay sticky, I also try the Tamper containers, and they are, first of all, they are transparent, so they are not so good for keeping your beans fresh because they get a lot of sunlight, and also they don't keep the vacuum as well as the fellow does. And another thing that I did notice is that because of this break here, you tend to grab from the lid. If the vacuum is not there, you're going to pull it out and this is going to fall. It happened to me a few times. With the Atmos, you pick it up just like I did, I didn't even see, but you pick it up from here because it continues from the lid to the bottom part. Then you don't drop it, So I would recommend this one. Also, the motion to pull the vacuum is like this until you do this several times until it goes green over here. You can see there. While this doesn't really have any kind of actual tell, except that you have to push this in like this until it just kind of stops moving. But there's always a bit more that you can push, So I'm not too fond of this. This is obviously cheaper, but I would just save up and get the fellow Atmos. What else? This brush has been amazing. I think I just got this off Amazon. Very nice to keep your work surface clean. Also to clean inside the grinders or here, very, very nice. I would fully recommend this one. And the Palo cleaner, I think I've tried several ones, and this is probably the only one that doesn't get water dripping all through your countertop, So would recommend this one. There are some of brands that look similar. I haven't really tried them, but I would go for the original one. Just a standard little brush when I'm running lots of lots of shots for different people. I just clean this up, and it works fine. It's a super cheap painter's brush, and this one came with like this lid brush. I really prefer the other one. I still have this one, but don't really use it, to be honest. The cheap painter brush is just better. Here on the back, you can see I have these portafilter holders. This is just a super cheap portafilter I bought from eBay to put a blind filter because a blind basket, so I can clean my machine after running it, after every session. And this portafilter holders, I found the design on Thingiverse and I printed them out. But I think that there is a brand making these, and I would definitely support the ones making and selling this. If you don't have a 3D printer and you can use the available files. I also had this little holder here in the back designed by a friend of mine, so I can use the Normcore funnel. Very nice funnel, although it doesn't work with the Lagom 01 portafilter holder. So if you are going to go for this holder, just keep in mind that this, even though I really, really like this funnel, it won't work here. You'll have to use the one that comes with a Lagom, which is narrower, although taller, so less grounds fly around. Just something to keep in mind. And going back to the holder, I made this holder. It's a 3D printed one and holds the funnel there very nicely. I had this manufactured by a local artisan just to weight my beans. The scale is the Kaya Pearl. Yeah, it's the Pearl, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think it's the Pearl. Because I also have the Kaya, the smaller one. And it also works amazingly well. Although it's a bit smaller, and I use the other one for pour over. While we are here, I think you can see just some of the setup I have. I have some of these cups. They are very nice for, you know, the Kruve cups, I don't know how you pronounce that. I have this little thing I got from Amazon. Very, very cool to just get some shots and separate them while testing out. I have Lelit leveler. I don't really use this that much anymore. And some custom cuts I got with my dogs on them, which are super nice and sentimental. So yeah, I think I've gone through pretty much all my setup. For pour overs, I have a fellow water heater, and I use the Mocha Master as my daily machine, just to take, apart from my morning cappuccino, to take some coffee to work. And this thing has been, it's like an offset funnel, very nice to just fill water in without having to move the machine, especially when you have like a narrow, you know, or a limited height. This works just amazingly well. And it was a very cheap find in Amazon. Just bear in mind that there are two models. One is silicone, like this one, and the other one is a 3D printed PLA. I would go for the silicone one for obvious reasons. So yeah, let me know if you have any other question or something that you would like a deeper dive in, so I can just try to record a video for you guys. Take care. Okay, so a few things I almost forgot showing. I have this World Workshop bean cellars, which are containers that have a valve on top, and you just weight the amount that you're going to single dose, you know. So I use this. Sorry if they look a bit wet, because I just took them out of the freezer. I weight these guys and I keep them in the freezer, right? So I use this funnel that comes with these containers, and I keep them right here on my freezer. So you can see all of them right here. I keep them minus 23 degrees, and they really don't age. So it's an amazing thing. Another thing I keep on the freezer are these bowls. I do extraction on top of this. I use this little strainer, plus normally I use these cups, the Kruve cups, and they fit great right here on the descent. And I get my espresso on top. And you can easily tell the difference between when using these frozen bowls and stainless steel bowls that I got from Amazon. I think they are whiskey bowls, and when you don't use them. So I don't use them obviously for every single shot, but when I want to splurge and get a very, very nice late night shot, I use these guys here, you know. And another thing I forgot to show that I get to use a lot is this book, you know. I think I won this on a Instagram competition from Flair. I also got a Flair 58 in that competition, you know, so thank you, Flair, for that. And this has been an amazing book, you know, just to keep all my information, my tests. Forget my handwriting, it's just really bad, but it's been an amazing thing to keep around. Really recommend this. I don't even know where you can purchase it, but here you can. So it's the Coffee Brewers Logbook, made in the USA. So very nice, also recommended. And last, I One thing I've used a lot is vacuum pack machine. I think James Hoffman's have said before that if you keep your roasted beans frozen below minus 20 degrees Celsius, then aging stops. And I have to say that's true, you know, at least through my tests, I've seen that I can get, this is a last year, you know, and just a few weeks ago, we opened one bag from last year that has been kept at minus 23 degrees. So this is 16th of August. And we've tried and it tastes amazing. So I recommend that if you have a bean that you really like, when you buy it, freeze it at the gas point that you like it and just keep it in the freezer, and you will enjoy really, really nice coffee at least a year afterwards, you know. For what I've tried so far, this is still tasting great, you know. So yeah, those were a few things that I missed in my previous video that I hope you like.